Hey, everybody. Here we are back for another Thursday night book club. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat already. Bree, Vengeance, hey, Amanda Duncan, hey,
Hey, Ree.
Marie Hill, hey. We've got Brittany King in the chat with us tonight, and
Yay!
have her products right here. That's Fire and Stud at Etsy. And y'all, I really, really love the packaging. It's brilliant. And I'm going to tell y'all what, I didn't spend but $10 or so. I got two bath bombs and some Cersei Lannister lip scrub. So
Oh, I need some lip scrub. I think she said her artist name is Samantha Ralph. Brittany, put it in the chat if I'm not getting that right.
it comes very cutely boxed. I mean, you could easily send this to somebody as a gift and just
Mm-hmm.
be okay with the little white box and then the label, which is very, very cute. Okay, so let's open this up. Okay. A little thank you card.
Yep.
Okay. Here's our Cersei artwork.
Oh, I'm gonna collect all of them.
It's very, very cute. I mean, extremely, extremely cute.
Yep.
Then I have a Sansa artwork.
Oh, yeah, cool. Oh, they'll love that.
That's badass.
That looks
Okay.
like the
All right. The
Funko I
first
have.
bath bomb I got, this is the Dornish bath bomb, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
It smells really, really good. Oh, and
Does it
look,
have?
it comes packaged with these little, things in it. And
I didn't see.
the little,
Oh, the little, yeah,
uh-huh.
gotcha. Instead of
Here's how
peanuts.
to start
I
bath
hate those
bomb.
peanuts. She's awesome.
You guys, and like I said, I got all these little items for, right at $10. So, perfect for gifts. Okay, and here's my lip scrub. And it's labeled at
Oh,
the top.
cute.
And it's a
Who?
nice size pot. I should be good on lip scrub all year. It smells nice and clean. And it's all her products are all natural and
Yeah,
handmade. So that's awesome. The
yep.
link is in the description, and it's an active link. It works. You can hit right on it. Please.
Steven looks
Yeah,
like he's
dry
like,
shampoo.
I don't care about this
I'm,
lady
I'm
stuff.
I'm reading the chat.
I'm just making fun. I'm just
She
I
has
making.
do
dry
I do
shampoo. She has
care.
stuff for beards, though. Seriously, and I
The
was
dry
reading
shampoo
some of
is
the reviews.
awesome. I love it.
She, uh, her products are very well favored for the men's products, and I won't allow Russell to have facial hair. That's just on me. That's just me. But
See,
Robert.
I have the opposite problem. My facial hair won't let me have a girlfriend.
so it tickles my face. It tickles my face, and I'll be like, "Go shave."
And another thing about Brittany is she does, like, you don't have to wait like to get
Oh
her
no,
stuff.
it was
Like it's
very fast.
there, boom. So
It took me 6 days to get. Look, I ordered them one Thursday after our broadcast, late night,
yeah,
and they came by the next Friday.
yeah,
So
she's
very
great.
fast shipping, very beautiful packaging, very realistic pricing.
Yep.
A lot of times when
Which
you get all
I
natural
like
things,
because I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you've ever been in Lush, do y'all have those in New Orleans? Surely you do, but they're
maybe
all natural, and like a bath bomb is like 10 to 12. It's way overpriced. Even
and
though they use
I'm not paying that for a bath bomb.
no,
I'm not
it's
because it just, you use it
well,
once, it's gone.
right. And Naomi likes to shop there, and I
And
hate
I
going
like
in
bath
that. I
bombs.
hate going in that. I mean, I like going in the place because it's got cool stuff, but then again, I hate going in the place because she's just going to ask for a million things. But that's a 16-year-old.
Well, yeah, that's
She'll
true.
say, I just want to go look, Mom. Yeah, right.
Well, anyway, the products are all natural and handmade. And normally when you get that's a lot of people's problem with using organic and handmade products is because they're too expensive. They're just too expensive. I mean, but these are very affordable, very, very beautifully packaged. I want to highlight that art again. I mean, you get, depending on which products you get and which house they represent, you get these hand-painted little watercolors. You guys, you could easily put these in a small frame and put them on the wall.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that.
I mean, they're just that beautiful. They really, really are.
Or at least just hanging them up somewhere.
They're very, very, very beautiful. Very well done. Very nice. Brittany, thank you so much. Your products are great. And we're going to continue to share that link. Everybody, swing by there and get you a few things. Or if you wanted to get somebody a little happy for Christmas, but you know you can't spend a fortune, perfect. Perfect gift. And like I said, the Guy products look very good. Okay. And without further ado, let's all introduce ourselves. Kerri, ladies first, and then Bran, and then Stephen, you go right on into chapter 53, Bran 6.
You got it.
Okay. Miss
It's
Kerri?
Kerri again. Just hanging around chats and stuff like that, and Twitter and all the social media stuff. And love reading the books and love being on book club with you guys. And you can find me on Twitter at Kerri McDonald 29. And I'm not going to give y'all every place that I'm on. It's just too many. But anyway, I guess that was, I'm terrible at introductions, so please excuse me.
Hello everyone, my name is Bran, and you can find my link in the description. And I'm really excited about tonight's chapter. So go ahead, Stephen.
Okay. Well, my name is Stephen Stark. Follow me on Twitter at StarkStark74. Don't forget. And I'm just a random guy from some corner of the internet who has an opinion on this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to do the chapter recap for Bran 6. All right, we open with Bran using Hodor as furniture, basically, so he can practice his astronomy with Maester Luwin's spyglass. The Karstarks arrive fashionably late, and they seem to be in need of some good grooming tips. Bran wants to go to the Wintertown because Winterfell is like super lit right now. We get a brief lesson in heraldry, and we learn that Robb has 12,000 troops there. Bran is a bit of a shit and asks about knights.
I'm gonna have to mute.
There aren't really knights in the north, and he knows this, so he's just being dumb, I think. But he is right about one thing. Robb is feasting with Karstark that night. Bran then orders Hodor around without even asking, please. We get a description of the saddle made to further dehumanize Hodor that Bran sits in on his back. And apparently Winterfell is still really lit at this time. Bran, Summer, and the enslaved Hodor go to the Godswood. Bran probably thinks Hodor stinks because he tells him to go take a bath. Bran tries to find some comfort by talking to a tree. Spoiler alert, everything he prays for doesn't happen. Then we learn that Rickon is being a massive pain in the ass. And Robb is in charge, but he's making decisions like Ned did. Probably not a good plan. He does seem to do a pretty good job of keeping things in order so far, though. Then the Great John gives Greywyn the finger and comments on Robb's meat, and a bromance begins. However, Robb tells Bran that he thinks it might be an abusive relationship. He also calls out Roose as being creepy. They're both scared, and they agree that they wish Daddy would come and rescue them. Bran probably gets most of his information from Facebook because he's got nothing but fake news. A postcard comes from Sansa. There's nothing good written in there. Bran thinks about all the Starks that went south and doesn't like the conclusion he comes to. He's not wrong. He also prays again for Robb and denied again. Then there's a bit where Osha talks about gods and wind or something. Hodor comes back and we get a description of his junk. Osha says that he has giant blood, and Bran is all like, nuh-uh, there's no giants. And Osha's like, yeah, there totally is giants. This is where we learn of Bran's obsession with watching animals have sex. Bran then starts ordering Hodor around again. Then Bran is like, for real though, giants? And Osha's like, giants and other crazy shit too, like the others. That's why she ran. But she, for some reason, thinks it would be a good idea for Robb to go fight them, even though she ran away. At dinner, Bran has to sit at the kids' table. He whines about wanting to be a knight, and Maester Luwin suggests a life of nerdiness. Bran says that would be cool if he could be a wizard, but Maester Luwin is a total buzzkill and shuts him down. Robb leaves Bran in charge, and Rickon is still being a little turd. Everybody cheers when Robb is finally gone, and Bran is left more or less alone with his slave. Okay.
I'm so sorry to laugh. That was so great.
Discuss.
Please do more. Oh, that cracked me up. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Well, okay.
Yeah, this is what you get when you ask me to recap the chapter.
I didn't hear anybody else laughing. I don't know how they didn't. I'm like holding my stomach, like laughing so hard. Anyway.
I was on mute.
Oh, well, you missed a good one. Oh, I should have muted me myself.
I heard it all. They just couldn't hear me laughing.
I tried to entertain.
It was great, Stephen. Loved it.
Okay, there's so many things to pick apart in this.
There really is too, though.
Stephen,
we're always like so serious about it, but like that was such
a
breath of fresh air.
I'm not being as serious as you want me to, but
no,
I love it. It's a breath of fresh air.
I will say this. There's a lot of backstory in this, especially like discussions about magic and the nature of magic, and Bran wants to learn magic and he can learn from the children of the forest, but Maester Luwin keeps shutting down, and there's talk of giants north of the wall. And it's a lot of disinformation spread around in this chapter, maybe even as a theme throughout the whole chapter.
That's true. And you know what? I highlighted it because even in this chapter, and then in pretty much every book, chapter, whatever, with Bran and Hodor, there's so much foreshadowing of a door. And like, I'm like, that's, I was trying to think of something like deep in the chapter or something. And I'm like, well, there you go. Because Bran's always
mention of a door in the chapter. Yeah, specifically regarding Hodor.
It's that he doesn't remember that Bran's on his back whenever he goes to the door.
Yeah.
For Bran.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was talking about. It's like all the time that, Bran has to watch his head because Hodor just forgets that he's on there. So, why do you guys think Hodor's so scared of actually being bathed, but he doesn't mind being in the hot pool with whatever Steven said, or Osha sees junk?
I wonder, it's hard to say.
That's true.
It's hard to say because, he may just not like cold water. But I have this idea that, I don't know, Hodor may not make it out of the cave alive, just like in the show, and holding the door. There's a lot of talk about how there's there's rivers running deep underneath the earth. And I wonder if that's got anything to do with it, because the Hodor, the reason he says Hodor, we assume, is because of the hold the door.
Right.
But George has also said it's going to play out different. So I wonder if he's holding the door and he's in a cold pool when he's doing it.
It could be that, and it could be just as simple as the fact that back then a lot of people didn't bathe and actually believed that it was bad for them to bathe.
That was kind of a goofball question anyway. So,
I mean, well, it could be a number of things. It could be an actual fear or an actual dislike, or it could be the fact that he's not somebody who practices bathing that much.
yeah. I like how Bran talks about how he's not scared of you know what, you guys do it. Start where what were y'all talking about first?
I mean, they say Henry IV didn't like a bath.
Grim Reaper asked me a question I answered him in the chat, but I just want to make sure. He asked about my flower crown. I made this for $10. You can go to Hobby Lobby, buy a string of blue flowers. They're about 6 feet long, and I just twisted it around each other. It was super easy.
Okay, let's talk about who thinks that there's some significance to Bran saying that old Nan says the Karstarks have Stark blood in them.
Yeah, I noticed that too. But then her son, or the Karstark sons are the ones when they're the last to arrive that are really making fun of Bran until he whistles for Summer, which I love that part. And then they're all like, oh shit, because their horses are freaking out. And I don't know if it has any significance except that she was maybe explaining why their name is Karstark instead of Stark.
I tend to think it's just world building.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's significant. I think it's going to come into play because we hear so often how there must always be a Stark in Winterfell, and we're getting kind of low on Starks.
That's true. That's true.
Especially, in where we're at in the show, we're really low on them. Or when the fighting starts, I think there'll come a time when we'll be low on them at Winterfell.
Do y'all think Arya's going to marry Gendry?
No.
I don't either. Okay.
I mean, who knows for sure, but I really doubt it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. One of the things I liked, well, this is more towards all the people that come. I wrote down, let's see, the Glovers, the Mormonts, the Boltons, the Hornwoods, the Umbers, and the Kerwins. And then the Karstarks show up last. And Rickon is well, we can talk about that first, or if there is anything to talk about, or how Rickon takes a sword from down in the crypts and starts trying to attack everybody. Isn't he like 3 in the books, or 4 maybe?
4. It says in this chapter that Rickon is 4.
Does it?
Barely 4.
Man, I read it, I wrote notes, and I still missed stuff.
Also, in this chapter, I think it's telling us that since our story began, like since Bran got pushed off the tower, that it's been a year. Because it says a year ago before he would have visited the town, even if it meant climbing over the walls by himself. So it's been about a year since the book started, I think.
Yep. Good noticing, Bran. Good paying attention.
Okay, do you guys want to talk about the letter?
The
letter from Sansa?
No.
Yeah.
I want to say one thing, and I wish they'd done it in the show, but I like how Bran gets out of his basket when Hodor takes him to the heart tree, and he uses the limbs of the tree to grab onto until Hodor can get a hold, like to pull himself out of the basket until Hodor can grab him, instead of having to have someone else there to get him out of the basket. I thought that was pretty neat.
When he held onto the tree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a very scenic chapter. You know, it really or part of the chapter. It really appealed to the senses. How the leaves brushed his face and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But about the Sansa letter, it's just that's even more confirmation, you know, because he's telling us, Rob's like, "Damn her, what's wrong with the girl?" And Bran felt all cold inside. He said she lost her wolf, so like, yeah, she lost her starkness whenever she was pleading with Joffrey and stuff, trying to be with him. So that's up there now. I feel.
Yeah, he was pissed off about that letter.
Yeah, but I mean,
And he talks about no mention of Arya, and then he says, "What's wrong with the girl?" But Bran does feel a sadness for her and says it's because, like Bran said, because she lost her wolf, you know, and she doesn't know what to do.
yeah, I'm a little surprised Rob is not smart enough to figure out that Sansa can't just write whatever she wants here.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's
Because
true.
he's actually generally a pretty bright guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that just goes to show you that Northern politics is not the same as Southern politics.
Yeah.
Not at all.
They still play the games up there. They said they was all the lords were testing Rob, you know, to
Yeah, we
see if
skipped
he
that
was a
part.
good lord.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about
Yeah.
how everybody tests Rob, from the marriage proposals to gifts
Well,
and wanting.
they never say her name. She was just brought along, and Theon says, don't be surprised if she just shows up in your bedroll one night. It never. I didn't see her name. Maybe you guys did.
I don't see her name. It's just
Okay.
Lord Serwyn's daughter.
Yeah.
You say Serwyn?
Yeah.
I say Kerwin.
I say Kerwin.
Me too.
But as long as I know who you're talking about, that's all that's really important.
But of course, the great John reaction was the best, and that's
Yeah,
what
that was my
they
favorite
put on the
part.
show. Yeah, no doubt.
Could not wait to write the joke that Great John gave Grey Wind the finger.
No, that was a good one.
I couldn't wait to write that.
Okay, let's
That
go
was
to
a
the
good
chat.
one.
Ricky Hunt says, I actually think it's possible Arya has a happy ending somewhat. Isn't it kind of bittersweet to have her as a lady at the end, raising kids completely different from who she was at the beginning? Ricky Hunt, I almost think that could possibly happen because she told her dad, no, that's not me. So, yeah, I see what you're saying. And I think it would kind of be like for her to end up that way. Also, if you're of the school that you believe the direwolf's names mean something, then she might end up as more than a lady. Like she might end up running shit, and we might be disappointed with the way Sansa ends up. I think that could happen. I think that could happen.
It's a different conversation, but I'm not sold on the idea that the names tell the future of the Starks so much as they parallel what their story will be. Like,
okay, that's a good point.
Like Nymeria's journey in the story, where she travels all over the place to all these exotic locales. I think that might be what it's mirroring, but
that's the first time I've ever heard anybody say that, and I think that's a good point because that's something I really couldn't get around with. Because really, I think the names of the direwolves are very symbolic, and there is something to that. But that's a good explanation for that. That it's not necessarily how they're going to end up, but the journey to get where they get.
Yeah, I at least that's been my interpretation.
I think that's a very good interpretation. And Amanda Duncan in the chat says is like Arya's journey. Exactly.
Right.
Go back to the chat. Maria Peel from Game of Theories with Marie says Sansa's sense of her identity lost when Ned killed Lady. This is the beginning. Arya changes her identity many times. Rob loses his life. Caitlin loses her identity and becomes Lady Stoneheart. Ned loses his. That's a good point as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it
Well,
does
they're
lose his
definitely
identity at the end. This is something we don't
connected.
talk about very much, but with him, you know, kind of trying to save his daughters and saying that he did those things he didn't do under any other circumstance, he never would have done that, no matter what.
Mm-mm.
Bran?
I don't know what's up with
I thought
Bran.
Bran had something to say. Okay, Revengeance up here. Karstark death, foreshadowing Karstark death. Oh, when he gets bitten by the wolf? Is that what you mean? Or can you go a little further with that for me, Ree? Please, please. Cameo. Last night on Stephen Colbert, Peter Dinklage said Jamie Dornan came to all the GOT after parties. Filming is officially over. Y'all probably knew that already. No, I went to bed really early. I got your text this morning. Jamie Dornan, like the actor from that freaky book.
Is that the guy?
Is he the guy from 50 Shades?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
that's who it is. Okay.
The one that's going to be on Westworld, or is that somebody else I'm thinking of?
Oh, no, because of the feast talk. 50 Shades of Grey, Cameo said. Okay.
Oh, I never read those. So, sorry. I've been waiting.
New banners like GOT threw up in there.
Okay. So, my proposal for book club next week, chapter 1 of 50 Shades of Grey.
I'll have to purchase them.
Oh,
I never did know anybody that freaky. That's God's truth.
I have no idea. I mean, you hear about the story, and I have some idea, but I never read it. Never saw the movies.
Me either. And I'm just like, whatever. Aren't they based on like Twilight or some other books?
I heard
they were Twilight fan fiction that got
Harry Potter fan fiction.
But Harry Potter fan. Oh, okay.
No, that is freaky.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's what I thought I remember hearing.
I mean, I am a Twilight fan. Make fun of me if you want, but the books are really good. And I know, and I liked the movies, but no, and I love Harry Potter, but I would never believe that 50 Shades of Grey is based on.
I mean, and I've known some freaks, but.
Oh, that's funny. I love how the Great John, after that happens with the wolf, he becomes Rob's like right hand man, like
a total bromance.
Yeah. Love you,
Okay, I gotta grab a charger.
Let's see. Oh, and I like if y'all want to talk about it and what you think about it when Rob goes to Bran and he's all like scared and pale and shaking and is that when you talked about how daddy's gone,
right.
he's not there right now, but and how much Bran really hates taking over being Lord, while Rob's away.
Doesn't like it. He doesn't like Rob the Lord either.
No, and he distinguishes them.
Yeah. But I will say this, as much crap as I was giving Rob and Bran and Rickon I actually find Rob to be quite capable. Again, the fact that the nuance of the Sansa letter goes over his head is probably down to the political landscape of the North. But he's a 15-year-old kid. He's handling his crap pretty well.
I think so too. Yeah, maybe that's why he didn't really pay because some people say I probably have it backwards. I hear you, but I'm not listening. That kind of thing where he's more worried about.
Says that in the chapter a few times. She says it to Bran when they're at the God's Wood that she's
That's
tired.
Right. That's right.
You can't talk to somebody who does not hear.
That's true, because she's talking about there's no godswood, there's no trees down south, and he's marching the wrong way. So he needs to listen to OSHA. But what I mean, like you said, what are they gonna do? You know,
Right.
if Rob, yeah.
She thinks Mance is a fool for trying to fight them, but she thinks Rob should go fight them.
Yeah, she calls him a sweet fool too.
Yeah.
Which, you know, somebody who has acquaintance with somebody.
Yeah. Well, he spared her life, allowed her to come, you know, live there with him.
Revengeance says, Bran says Rob looks half the stranger. Thought of the stranger.
Oh, that's a good
That's
one.
a good catch.
Yeah.
Who
And
was
then
that?
Marie says, but Great John tests Rob first to test his mettle. Rob passes the test. He does. He passes all the tests. We have Great John testing. We have Mage Mormont testing. We have Lord Serwyn testing.
Yeah. She tells him he's too young to be giving her orders. I forgot about that.
He could be her grandson, but she does have somebody he can marry. Then we also have Lord Bolton get in a fight with who? Because he wants to be in charge of the army.
Glover. They both want to be have the honor of battle command or commander, or however you want to say it. It says command in the books.
Yeah.
I wonder how far back it's that Bolton has been against Rob. How far back that goes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's always been against Rob on some level. But he was looking for the opportunity. You know,
Felicia in the chat says, worst Northern House book to show difference is Little Miss Resting Bitch Face. Death to Lyanna Mormont.
I forgot what they call her, Mage Mormont, but they say something about her appearance. I'll have to find it in the book now.
Stout, gray-haired, aggressive man.
There
like
you go. Yeah.
Hey, David Adams.
I don't want to be described as
stout. So we got Revengeance, David Adams, Cameo, Game of Theories with Marie. Hey, Marie. Amanda Duncan, Grim Reaper. Hello.
I wish I could see the chat. Hi, everyone.
Did I say Felicia?
No, you didn't. Oh, my goodness. My niece says that all the time from that old joke about bye, Felicia. I don't know what that came from. I cannot remember.
Ricky Hunt.
What's up, Ricky?
And then earlier, AU was in the chat, and we also had Brittany King. Y'all, in the description, be sure and check out the page Fire and Suds. Very reasonable, all homemade, good products. And you get the little picture. I mean, it's worth ordering something just to get the picture you want.
It's like collector cards.
Exactly. And they're beautiful little watercolor. Marie's saying these are the cards you get when you order the Fire and Suds, depending on what you order. They're all products based on different houses. I've got the Sansa and the Cersei. And like I said, these are so nice. You could frame these and put these up easily and make little, it's a gift in a gift, basically. She-bear, Ricky Hunt says.
Let's see. Bran had always liked the God was even
always look for a way to rise above the Starks or to be on top or on the winning side of things. I would agree, and I think there's a parallel there.
That's what he wants.
Parallel between the Starks and the Boltons, and then you've got the Lannisters and the Tyrells.
So Rob says
there's always that second house trying to overtake the first house. If you look around, you can see that in the Vale. You can see that everywhere you go. The first house and then the second house that's kind of always vying for power.
Yep.
If you look at that. So in the Vale, we've got the Royces And then up in the north, we've got the Boltons and the Starks. Down in the south, we've got the Tyrells and the Lannisters. Y'all over there in the
I would argue that the Tyrells have the high towers, and the Lannisters had the reins, but they don't really have the reins anymore because Tywin put the smackdown on them.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. There's always, it's really
severe smackdown.
The Tyrells in the Reach, right? But the Tyrells have stepped their game up to where really they're not trying to control just one region anymore. They're trying to control the entire country at this point.
Yeah, I think you got a good point there.
Yep.
But
I mean, you know, when Jamie says who about Olenna, you know, who would you want your daughter married to, Joffrey or Tommen? Who could she control better, and therefore, you know, end up controlling whatever's going on the Iron Throne?
Which makes complete sense.
Mm-hmm. She was a smart woman.
I've got a question for the panel.
Okay.
Okay.
How does wind sound sad? Anyone?
Maybe
sometimes it can kind of sound like moaning.
I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna either say that or it's just blowing like kind of slow, like slowly and peacefully. But I don't know about sad.
Is he already learning to like feel what the old gods are trying to say to him?
That could be true because it says he's been drawn more to the godswood. It says in the chapter, it says he thinks dreams. So he's constantly thinking about the godswood, and the tree doesn't give him the creeps anymore. It brings him comfort when he's there.
Amanda Duncan says words are wind. Marie says wind.
Words are wind. That's a good one.
Okay, and like what we were talking about a while ago, though, is like there's always a rival. Here at my house, there's always a rivalry between number 2 cat, Jazz, and my other cat, Etta, and my one dog, Mr. and my other dog, Rudy. So everywhere you go, you get these, you get these people vying for position and status, and it's no different here at my house.
It's no, with animals, it's definitely no different. I've had my 2 dogs fighting for their position. In the living room.
I had my Jack Russell Terrier mix outside most of the day, and I hate to say this, but I forgot he was out back, and I didn't have my little Pekingese out there with him, Wiki, because he did. I guess he didn't have to go to the bathroom or whatever. But when I let Rudy back in, or when my husband got home and let Rudy in, he says that Wiki ran up on him and attacked him.
Oh,
I guess he thought he was going to be in the house the rest of his life by himself. Marie at her house, Bosco rules. That's her new doggy.
Oh, gotcha. I can't put both of mine in the car without them fighting.
I agree too. Spooky, scary, like sad.
What about the wind? Mm-hmm. I think that would depend on what time of year it is, as if it's spooky.
Well, I tell you what, I would walk through a graveyard right now here in New Orleans in October.
That's true. Y'all got some. y'all got some down there.
Yeah. They say if you put 3 X's on Maria Laveau's tomb, you'll see. But now you can't get into St. Louis Cemetery #1 anymore. They locked it up. So
we went to one when we were down there, and it was not in a good neighborhood. We had to leave our car packed full of stuff, but we wanted to go see one, so we did. Could have had all our stuff maybe stolen, but oh well.
So later in this chapter, Maester Luwin's telling him all the things that he can teach him instead of magic, and he says that I can teach you the speech of ravens. Didn't the children in the forest used to like talk to ravens?
Yes, yeah, actually, there's a section in the world of Ice and Fire that talks about that. talks about the speech of ravens and what Maester Yandel, who wrote The World of Ice and Fire, says in that book is that they specifically refer to like reading their body language and how to tell when they're sick and things like that.
That's cool.
But he does talk about how the Children of the Forest did teach the first men to actually speak with words.
Mm-hmm.
But Maester Yandel doubts the veracity of that, I remember. So
Maesters doubt the veracity of everything.
don't they just? Except,
you know what? I'm going to not listen to Maester Yandel.
right. Listen to Septon Barth.
Right.
Ellen Mar said she got that World of Ice and Fire book and was just like, shoop, and like threw it over the back of her head. Like, I'm not reading this. I'm not reading more. And
it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay,
George
some men give Bran queer hard stares in old. Did you mean to put Russia? I don't think you meant to put Russia in here, Marie, but in the Old North, yeah,
Russia
said he should have did the Tyrion. That's what they did. Any child that they didn't think would make it, they just carried out and left it. So
yeah,
no, she did mean Russia.
Oh, she did.
In the context, yeah. In old Russia, they used to leave the sick, elderly, and infirm out in the snow.
Oh wow, I did not know that. But
that's a bit harsh.
Bran even says, like, when he has to do dinner the one night, be at the head of the table, that he could hear the Karstark saying, "I'd rather be dead than live like that," you know, and that's just so mean.
Hey, Westerosi Ninja, the Eskimos and Native American.
Oh, it's Milt.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Marie. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, let's talk about this. Bran brings up sirs and knights, and it seems it's a Southern thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is coming for Caitlin, but there's a very good explanation in this chapter. And like you, okay, Marie, I love you. Okay, there's a very good explanation right here. And like I was saying, this chapter is chalked up with background information and things that we don't always get necessarily. But we get a really good explanation in here from Maester Luwin to Bran on why we don't have that many knights. And he even goes as far as to say, which you wouldn't hear this from a Southerner, about how, you know, it doesn't really matter about that. Just the North, since they worship different gods, they don't believe that crap.
Right. As long as you're good to then, you know, do the things knights are sworn to do. Then,
and he basically explains it that it chalks up to a ceremony and gods.
Yeah.
He's exactly right.
But again, this is further evidence, and we got into this with the Stanza chapter a couple weeks ago. Bran's head is full of these stories about knights, the same way Sansa is to some degree. And again, that's a failing of his parents to teach him about the real world.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks, knights are the best thing ever. Well, Gregor Clegane is a knight, and that's maybe one of the worst people in the entire continent.
And Sandor's not, and he's
much better. Brienne is not, and she's as close to a true knight as we're going to get in the series.
Yep. I looked it up, and she's 6'3", and Rory McCann is 6'6". The Hound.
Yeah.
I wonder who Lewin's family were. I do too.
That's interesting. I doubt we'll ever find out, but maybe we will.
Grim Reaper, go ahead and watch those movies. They're kind of good, but they're not that bad. I watched all three of them. It wasn't that bad.
This is later on.
Hey, welcome to the chat. What, Bran? Where are you at? Bran Wyk.
I'm right here.
He doesn't feel good.
Say something, please.
What do you need me to
do? It, Bran, right now.
What do you think about this, Bran Wyk? It seems to me that Sansa and Bran parallel each other a little bit. In their story-eyed beliefs.
I'm sorry, I'll shut up.
Yeah, in their childlike, naive minds a little bit, but they take they take very different paths because, like, Sansa wants to be a lady and, like, be a queen, and Bran is saying that he wants to learn magic. So, like, he basically wants to be a wizard of sorts. So, like, they're going very different ways with their child fantasies.
I think there's a little more parallel there maybe than that because, I mean, and it's probably from a more thematic standpoint, but Bran, at least in my opinion, has the most like true fantasy style story, and also like the most horror elements are in his story. But Sansa has some of the most horrible things happen to her. She, of any POV character other than Theon, she's probably the most mistreated.
Well, at
Okay,
first,
did anybody else notice
Bran
in the
wants to-
show? We definitely. I'll let you go next, Kerri. In the
That's
show,
all right.
we definitely get where you can see that Bran has the most sympathy for Sansa. I think that was purposely portrayed that way because we get him saying, you know, I'm sorry for all the things that happened to you, and I'm sorry it had to happen to you here. He takes up for her in multiple times, and I never noticed it before, but there is kind of a parallel there between Bran and Sansa, kind of both being a little bit starry-eyed, whereas the other children are not as much that way. And going to the chat real quick.
More grounded.
Says Lewin is a Dornish name. Good point. Good point. Go ahead, Kerri.
Ooh, that is a good point.
Very good.
I forgot what I was going to say before. Oh, Bran wanted to be a knight, and now he wants to be a magician. Now that everything's happened to him, he knows he can't.
He's 7 years old. Next week he'll want to be a fireman.
That's funny. That's funny. Now I can't remember what the other question was, or the other thing point I had was, dang it. If I think of it, I'll spit it out.
Please do.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I know that parents aren't supposed to have favorites, but it was quite obvious that
that's
really favored Sansa, and she kind of favored Bran as well. The way she acted when he got hurt, and she was like, "Not Bran, not Bran."
That's what I was gonna say. As much as y'all are saying they parallel, why does Bran not return her hug when he arrives at Winterfell? Like, he just sits there. Like, he doesn't do the same with Arya. This is way ahead, I know. But, like Sansa, he doesn't even try to reach up and, you know, embrace her. So, what do you think it is that she might do that, or maybe he realizes Arya needs it for Baelish? I don't know. What do y'all think?
I tend to think that he kind of like, well, you know, his response to Sansa was very genuinely how he was feeling at that moment. And I think maybe with Arya, Sansa basically like elbowed him in the ribs and said, "Hey, actually hug her back.
Yeah.
Make her feel like she's welcome here."
Yeah.
But I don't really know.
Yeah.
I tend not to read too much into that. I think Dan and Dave sometimes really drop the ball on the writing with the Stark kids.
Okay, this is what I think it is.
All right.
I think
joining
that
in the chat.
Accordance with.
You want to look in the camera?
I think that Sansa was always kind of like their second mother.
She have fun.
So the way that she embraces him, kind of in that huge hug, is kind of like he's accepting a hug from a mother figure.
Right.
But the way he hugs Arya back, it's more like they're on the same level.
Yeah. I'm going to disagree with Revengeance. I don't think Sansa's going to flip on them.
Sansa is not going to flip. Sansa's not going to flip, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to set
so
what do you think about it?
No. Sansa's a Stark.
Yeah. She pretty well proved it last.
Rat.
last season, she pretty well proved it.
I thought so too. Are we? Gosh, Ree, you just trying to get the chat stirred up, girl.
I see.
And I think she proved it during the Battle of the Bastards too. Honestly, even though she didn't tell John, she proved it.
Right, re-stirring the shit pot. I got it.
Okay, and Marie says, I do not think Sansa will betray her family. And I wish I could do an Australian accent because I thank you, Amanda Duncan. I think Sansa's going to go full start. She has regained her identity. And Reese says, I'm just saying. Well, you certainly have a right to say that. And I tell you what, if you're right, you'll have to come on and rub it in all of our faces.
Right, and I hope you do. I seriously hope you do.
Right.
But that's the thing, we all can have our ideas and our thoughts and our preferences, but nobody knows.
Absolutely. And that's something I always say, like, I've been taken by surprise so many times. Reese says John is not really her family, though, is he?
Well, one of my favorite things about the whole series are the Children of the Forest and the dire wolves, and I had a lot of fun reading this chapter because it had a lot of dire wolf content, and then it talked about the Children of the Forest a couple times. So I like how Rob only had to say a quiet word, and Grey Wind automatically knew to go and eat his fingers off,
Yeah, I liked that too. I wonder what he said. Oh, Lord.
And I just want to say real quick, everybody be careful eating broccoli. Oh, my God.
My goodness. Oh, man. Guys.
Yeah.
I hate to do this, but I'm going to have to bow out early. My husband has a migraine tonight, and I can hear my beagle in there whining, wanting out of the cage, and I need to go help around the house. I thought I was going to have some free time tonight to be able to do.
That's all right.
But it's not looking that way. So.
It's giving me terrible gas. That's what's up with the broccoli.
But I love you guys, and I can't wait till next week, and hopefully it'll be a smoother day and all of that. And bye to everybody in the chat, and love you guys. I'm so sorry.
Bye, Kerri.
Bye, Kerri.
I don't want to go.
All
right, bye, guys.
Talk to you soon. Call you
all
tomorrow.
right. Okay, sounds good.
And I also enjoyed the very last sentence of the whole chapter where it said, Hodor, Bran agreed, wondering what it meant.
Yeah. Thought that was pretty great, too.
Do you guys remember when Tyrion tells the story about his cousin? And he's... And
the one on the TV show?
It's also in the book.
No, I don't think that's in the book.
Okay, y'all, Brittany has to go. Brittany King, I need to head out, but it was fantastic meeting everyone. Thanks for the shout out and letting me join. Enjoy the rest of the discussion. Have a great night. Y'all, in the description, Brittany King is the proud owner and maker of Fire and Suds, beautiful bath products that are so reasonably priced. Your jaw will drop. And you also get such a beautiful colored picture, which I have shown, a watercolor. Y'all, they really are quite beautiful. I mean, you would have paid as much for the little pictures without the bath products. I swear you would have. And I want to show those again. And I'm going to get little frames for these. I am.
Yeah, I'm in love with that Sansa one.
I know. It's so good. And
I want a Marjorie Tyrell one.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, it's hard to go wrong with either one of them, but always been a big. No, that's not true. I'm a fan of Sansa now, though.
Right. Yeah, they are great, y'all. And like I said, I mean, worth the money without the bath products the pictures are. I mean, it's just like a gift in a gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving. But y'all check that out in the description. She has lots of products. Go ahead, Bran.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into her beard stuff.
Well, if you end up getting something, would you please unbox it on air and show us and maybe even do a demonstration?
Sure.
Yeah, she has beard conditioner and like dry shampoo and then like the wax, but I read all like really good reviews on that too. Do you condition your beard?
Yes, of course.
Do you ever wash it with hair conditioner?
Oh yeah, I use like Pantene Pro V shampoo and conditioner on my beard. Because if you don't, I mean, it just gets wild and crazy and just like your head hair,
Alrighty. What else, you guys?
I don't know that I have a whole lot. Again, I feel like this chapter, a lot of it was world building and background setup for things that are to come. There wasn't a lot of action in this particular chapter.
CBD oil tastes like olive oil. Okay. It is hair after all, says Cammy.
Right.
I don't have anything left on this chapter either.
Yeah, Marie says, eyes smoldering like liquid gold. This reminded me of the way Viserys died. And those are Summer's eyes, if I'm remembering right.
Right. No, they are. Very good catch. Thank you, Marie.
The other things in this chapter that kind of stood out to me was Shaggy Dog's green eyes emerging from the darkness, and when Rob was talking about the Dreadfort and that room that they kept all of their enemy skins in, that was pretty creepy. What was everyone's favorite line from the chapter?
Hodor?
Me too. Mine is when he said when he's real sad and he agrees, yeah, Hodor, and then he thinks, I wonder what that means.
My favorite lines are between your meat is bloody tough, or now there's a big man, he has giant's blood in him, or I'm the queen.
That's a good one too. Oh Lord. All right, everybody. Well, look, I know everybody's busy. Halloween is upon us. Thank you so much, everybody that came into the chat. We had a really big chat tonight, and I appreciate that. But let's go ahead and end it at an hour, because I know I've talked to several of y'all because we're all friends, and everybody's super busy at this time of the year, and it's no wonder. And next week we've got chapter 54. I think it's Daenerys 4. Am I correct in that, Bran? Correct me.
It's Daenerys 6, but it is chapter 54.
I just fell off a turnip truck. Jesus. All right. So chapter 54, Daenerys 6 next week. And we'll continue this. And I just want to give everybody a shout out real quick, and then I'll let y'all go out. So we had Amanda Duncan, Marie, Game of Theories with Marie. Everybody hit everybody's icon and sub to them, whether or not they've got content or not. They might one day, and that's happened to me. And then you'll be one of the first people to see their stuff. We've got LMR. We've got Revengeance. We've got Cameo. We've got Amanda Duncan. We've got Grim Reaper. We had Felicia Ahmad in here. We had Brittany and King from Fire and Suds. Y'all please check out her site. It's well worth it. I swear to y'all it is. We had Ricky Hunt. We had a U-Pack meal. We had
The Westerosi
streaming
Ninja.
service going off in the background. Yes, I watched Slender Man today. Not a bad horror film, not great, but worth the watch. We had the Westerosi Ninja in here, and I didn't read his comment. Let me get that right now. And he has some interesting content. The whole chivalry thing stems from the Andals. The North were never conquered by them and didn't bring the code to the North. Okay, yes, that is true. Very good point.
Okay, I just went through and subbed to everybody. If I didn't sub to you, it's because I don't like you.
Damn.
Or probably I just missed you in the list. But it might be that I don't like you. I don't know.
All right. So I think I got everybody. Thanks everybody so much, and we will reconvene next week, 8 o'clock. Daenerys 6, chapter 54.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.